Along with both frightening and menacing creatures, there also exist unique ones in the oceans. But sometimes when the unique in them crosses a line, they tend to be called upon as weird creatures. One such case is the Helicoprion, an extinct shark-like creature that is often known as one of the weirdest sharks that have ever lived in our ocean. We take a glance at this creature. Why is this shark so weird? The Helicoprion is an extinct genus of shark-like eugeneodont fish, which is a group of extinct cartilaginous fishes. They initially appeared in the Devonian period before they went extinct in the Early Triassic period. They are considered to be one of the stranger sharks in the fossil record, although at the time the Helicoprion swam the oceans, there were numerous sharks that did not conform to the modern. The majority of the remains of this shark are the teeth, which are fossilized in a spiral pattern, similar to the shell of an ammonite. Initially, when they were discovered, these fossils were thought to be some kind of exotic ammonite shell. These arrangements of fossil teeth are today referred to as a tooth whorl, which is a unique morphological feature possessed by members belonging to the eugeneodontidae. Helicoprion was similar to other chondrichthyan fish and had skeletons that were made of cartilage. But this is something that made it difficult to determine what Helicoprion looked like, because the skeleton didn't fossilize easily. The entire body of the Helicoprion disintegrated once it started to decay, unless it was preserved by exceptional circumstances. This can make it quite difficult when it comes to drawing precise conclusions about its full body appearance. However, the body shape was estimated through postcranial remains known from a few eugeneodonts. Almost all the specimens of Helicoprion are fossilized tooth whorls. The fossils primarily consist of teeth that were embedded in a spiral root. The fossils of Helicoprion are known from a 20 million year time span during the Permian period, from the early Permian to the middle Permian. The closest living relatives of Helicoprion are the chimeras, yet the relationship between the creatures is very distant. In the 1900s, there was a debate regarding where these tooth whorls were located on the animal. There were some who said that the spiral was located on the lower jaw, while others claimed it sat on the upper jaw. There were also a group of people who claimed that it was located on the dorsal fin. Technology has come a long way, and now the recent description of fossils that preserve cartilage around the teeth shows that the spiral teeth sat in the lower jaw. Fossils of Helicoprion have been found in numerous locations from different corners of the world, including Russia, Western Australia, China, Kazakhstan, Japan, Laos, Norway, Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Such regional diversity indicated that it had a global distribution. Within the U.S., the fossils were uncovered in the states of Idaho, Nevada, Wyoming, Texas, Utah, and California. More than 50% of the fossils referred to Helicoprion are known as the H. specimens from the Phosphoria Formation of Idaho. Another 25% of fossils are found in the Ural Mountains in Russia that belong to the species H. bessenoi. To understand what the Helicoprion ate, scientists had to initially understand the unique teeth and lower jaw of the Helicoprion. This was extremely important, as it was the key to understanding the ecology and evolution of this creature. Initially, scientists argued that hard-shelled prey items that included ammonoids would slip out of the mouth. This was because of the peculiar shape of the tooth whorl. However, recent reconstructions indicate that soft prey items such as squids would be trapped in the tooth whorl, making these items difficult to ingest. To understand how this predation consumed its prey, scientists had to apply biomechanical principles. The results were quite jaw-dropping, as they found out that each tooth had a different function depending on its position in the tooth whorl. The anterior teeth played the role of hooking and dragging prey into its mouth, while the middle teeth pierced and cut the prey. The posterior teeth cut and pushed the prey into its oral cavity. This unique feeding apparatus allowed this creature to consume both hard and soft-bodied prey items using varied feeding strategies. Based on the proportional size of cassiodontoid tooth whorls, It was suggested that Helicoprion individuals with tooth whorls that reached 35 to 40 centimeters in diameter could reach 5 to 8 meters in length. Surprisingly, this would rival the size of modern basking sharks. The largest known Helicoprion tooth whorl is the specimen IMNH 49382, which represents an unknown species. The specimen reached 56 centimeters in diameter and 14 centimeters in crown height. It is estimated that the specimen belonged to an individual with over 7.6 meters in length. It was 1899 when Russian geologist Alexander Petrovich Karpinski coined the name Helicoprion. Karpinski realized that the petrifications were actually part of a shark-like fish. His best guess was that Helicoprion bore the toothy spiral on its nose, though this was disagreed by other paleontologists. The American paleontologist Charles Rochester Eastman praised the depth of scope of Karpinski's monograph, saying, "Not one in 100 essays on paleontological subjects receives anything like the elaborate care and finish that Karpinski gave the remarkable ichthyodoreulites called Helicoprion." Eastman wrote, "Few will be prepared to admit, however, that this highly fanciful sketch can be taken seriously, and therefore the least said about it, the better." In 1966, paleontologist Sven Erik Bendix Elmgreen described a Helicoprion fossil that was 16 years earlier in the Waterloo phosphate mine near Montpelier in Idaho. What was special about this specimen was that not only did it display a lovely tooth whorl, but the fossil also contained bits of cartilage from the upper jaw and skull. Bendix Elmgreen thought that the specimen had been disarticulated and crushed so extensively that reassembling the creature was impossible. The jaws sat in the Idaho Museum of Natural History for decades until Jess Pruitt, a student, asked curator Leif Tapanala about the strange Permian fish. Tapanala said, "He started poking around and asking questions about Helicoprion jaws." Tapanala added that Pruitt wanted to know whether the coiled tooth row was a real feature of a living animal or was it something that happened after death. Tapanala and Pruitt concluded that the whorls of the Helicoprion did have their buzzsaw shape in life. The researchers launched a new, detailed investigation into the museum's stores of the creature. The fossil described by Bendix Elmgreen seemed to have the potential to give out new clues through CT scans that could help them see the internal secrets of the specimen. The scans were taken at the University of Texas High-Resolution X-ray CT facility in Austin, and according to Tapanala, they came out brilliant. Not only was the fossil in better shape than they expected, they also understood that Helicoprion didn't have an elongated jaw, and it wasn't really a shark. Yet there was a question that remained. How did Helicoprion catch and consume prey with only a single blade of teeth? Based on the new restoration, Tapanala suggested that the analogy to a circular saw is almost perfect. The research pointed out that as the jaw closed, the tooth whorl rotated the teeth backward in a rotational saw motion. They found that such a strategy would have worked well on squid and other soft-bodied cephalopods of the 270-million-year-old seas. But even after that, they were left with the question of how such a strange arrangement evolved in the first place, making the creature one of the weirdest ones on the entire planet. In your opinion, how weird is this creature? And how unique is its arrangement? Is this the weirdest creature that ever lived in our ocean? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys soon.